So you know how competitive the wine market has become. It's crowded, right? It's really crowded. And why is that? Well, there's a lot more wine available today than there was 40 years ago. There are about 110,000 wines available in the US, according to the TTB, which is up from 47,000 20 years ago. What's more, there are a lot more importers representing all those wines. The TTB lists about 10,000 importers currently of wine, spirits, and beer. Somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 of them handle wine. The rest is just beer and spirits. Who wants to tell me how many wholesale wine and spirits distributors there are in the US? Any guesses? 550? Anybody else? Well, according to WSWA, there are currently about 3,000 distributor licenses in the United States. Now, about 300 of those are multiple licenses owned by one distributor, like Southern Glazers, Breakthrough, etc. That leaves us with about 2,700 distributors nationwide, and that's down from 3,000 about 20 years ago. So it's shrunk slightly, but not that much. There are also more wines available in New York today than there were 40 years ago. There are about 80,000 wines available in New York right now. Does that surprise anyone? I mean, that seems like a big number to me, and I'm in the business all the time. But if we did our research, and there are about 80,000 available at any given time. Now, we said there's more importers nationally, but there are also a number of importers who hold distribution licenses in New York State. For instance, Dreyfus Ashby, Palm Bay, some of the large importers have their own distributors in New York, which is not that unusual for big states. And while we know that the number of distributors nationwide has shrunk slightly, the number of distributors in New York has actually grown. So it's roughly doubled over the last 40 years, from 110 to 225. So what we have is this inverted pyramid with more wines being funneled down through a growing number of importers and into a steady, if not shrinking, number of distributors. The good news is consumption of wine in the US has increased dramatically. I think you've probably all seen this graph. Since 1978, it's up 116%, 440 million gallons to what they're projecting to be 960 million gallons today. So people are drinking more wine. But while they're drinking more wine, it hasn't kept pace with the number of wines available in the US. Remember, we said there are currently about 110,000 wines available. In 1979, there were only about 17,000. So while consumption's up by 116%, the number of wines is up by 550%. So there's a real discrepancy here.